Now, the next activity that I want to talk about is an activity that Terry said last week, or actually 2 weeks ago now. And this is the conversation tennis. And if you remember, I'll put that up here too. And if you remember conversation tennis, he showed a question mark made of tennis balls, and he elicited conversation, right? You can always elicit conversation and always elicit language from your students, right? That's a tip that sometimes early on in my career I didn't really take advantage of, but you can always elicit conversation, whether it's making the rules for something or guessing what the activity is going to be, giving them clues, things like that, right? So he'd elicit information, and then it was a conversation between two people, and he'd pose like a topic, right? I don't know if he posed a topic. That's what I did, right? I posed a topic. Like, what'd you do last weekend? Then person one answers and gives it to person two. Person two takes their answer, what they said, and says their answer, or they kind of reformat a question or tell their answer and bounce an answer, like a continuation conversation, to continue the conversation, maybe in another direction, maybe in the same direction, but continue a related conversation, right? And then person one would eventually answer that and then re-ask another question related to the topic, and they'd go back and forth, right? Remember that? If you don't, then go back, because it was a great activity to do. And he also gave some adaptations there too, like having 3-person groups and have one person kind of bounce the ideas off of him. What I did another type of adaptation, and I actually brought a tennis ball into the class. And I did this actually, I'm telling you, do these things with adults too. It's beautiful, because I go to a top professional, like a really big lawyer's office, to teach lessons there, private lessons and group lessons to their lawyers. And so I brought this in, and we're sitting around the table, and I'd roll don't play dodgeball, right? But I'd roll the ball to somebody and ask them a question. And then they were supposed to take it, answer the question, and roll it to somebody else and ask them a continuation question, right? The catch is, and if you remember what we talked about with Terry, you can't say, how about you? If you say, how about you, you're out. Well, I didn't say that to the adults. That's for the teens. But you can't say, how about you? And actually, it's funny because, and also celebrate your students' mistakes. This is or not mistakes, but celebrate when your students do something wrong, if it will help the benefit the lesson, right? So I'll give you an example. The first time I did this, I rolled it to a student, to an adult lawyer student, and I said, what did you do last weekend? I don't remember what I said. I said, oh, I went to the cinema, or I rested, and then she passed it to somebody else, and she said, how about you? And I said, thank you for saying that. Can I have the ball, please? Because kind of I didn't say this, but that's to transmit the idea that when you have the ball, it's your turn to talk, right? Can I have the ball, please? Thank you for saying that, because that is a perfect example of what I don't want, right? And but I'm celebrating. I'm trying to make her feel good. I'm not saying it to shame her, right? I'm like, that's perfect. So thank you, because I don't want just simply, how about you? That's for more basic levels, right? And you're giving them feedback, or you're correcting them at the same time as you're lifting them up, right? So thank you for doing that. That I forgot to say that. And you can even throw yourself under the bus. Thank you for that, because I forgot to say that. I don't want, how about you? Because that's just basic, right? You want to continue with something to continue the conversation and add to it, right? So thank you for doing that. That's the perfect example and the perfect time to do it, right in the beginning, right? So as you're correcting, elevate them if you have to. like deflect yourself to put yourself down, like, I didn't explain that right. Thank you for helping me, right? And then the corrections made. No one else said, how about you? Or if they did, they'd correct themselves. And the game flowed smoothly. So everyone had a turn, passing it back and forth. And I'm definitely going to do this again with them because they got really engaged. You have the ball, it kind of breaks. It kind of just adds another dimension, right? It adds another layer. Just adding this, right? Roll it across the table. They're sitting at their cubicle all day, right? They get to have a ball. I mean, in the end, we're animals, right? We like to play. I just have 2 new cats, and they're always like playing with whatever they have, right? So anyway, that's adaptation for adults. And I transferred this to the kids, my teens class. So that was professional adults, high level English, 8 o'clock in the morning, and it worked with them. In the afternoon, I teach a teens class, 13 years old, that A2 class, the lower level. And I thought, I'm going to do the same thing. So we came there. I had them, instead of sitting around the table, I had them come and sit on the floor in a circle. So we all sat on the floor. There were 6 or 7 of us. And you throw it to somebody. You have to lay down the ground rules. Number 1, how about you? If you say and you, if you say and you, I'll kill you. No, just kidding. Actually, I do say that, but it's I say it in a way that they know that it's joking, I think. No, I'm just kidding. I'm like, if you say that again, I'll kill you. But anyway, if you say and you're out. And I kind of do that, right? Because that's my style. Maybe that's not your style, but that's my style, right? And like teens love it because then they'll like get it and just go overboard. But it makes for a light environment. But lay the ground rules. If you say and you're out. If you throw the ball outside of the circle, or meaning if you try to beam somebody, if you throw it crazy, then you're out, right? And I think those are the only ones, right? Oh, and by the way, like Terry said, I do the countdown. And if you get to 0, you're out, right? Give a countdown, right? You don't even have to say anything, just that. And then the students will start doing that too. If I forget sometimes to do the countdown, another student will do it, right? It's beautiful. And those are my adaptations for that, right? In a group, get everybody involved, and then you throw it to somebody else, and they will throw it to somebody else, and they will throw it to somebody else. And what starts out, the first question could be like, what's your favorite food? Or what did you have for lunch? They answer, I had meatballs and potatoes. Do you like meatballs? And then so do you like to kick a soccer ball? Right? So it went from meatballs to a soccer ball. As long as it's somewhat related, I don't care because it flows, right? And then the last question could be about a movie or about something like that, right? And it's just beautiful. And make note after the activity, make note of where the conversation started and where it ended. And it's just a fun observation to make that I think your students will like too. Mine did, the adults and the teens. Hey guys, I'm sitting here with my daughter, Sophia. She's recording this. And I just want to thank you for watching this video. If you like it and you want to see another video like it, then right next to me, you can click another video for a fun lesson idea or a teaching tip. And don't forget to subscribe and click the bell so you get new videos every week. Keep teaching and keep learning. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.